Hello and good day to you, my beautiful friends. I do hope you are well. Welcome to episode 56 of Cross Button VR, our journey into the world of PS VR2, a show for those who want to share in our love for the world of VR. Now, I'm your host, Laurie, and if you did not know already, we are part of the Cross Players. So, if you like what you hear, check out links to all of our stuff in the description for this very episode. Now, it is an honour to be joined by three of the sweatiest influencers in the metaverse. It's Ben, Alex and Reece. Hello, chaps.
Hello.
Ooh.
Hello.
And why are you the sweatiest influencers in the metaverse? Because that is a weird introduction, otherwise.
I don't know. You tell us.
Just
Really
getting
offensive.
to come to my house.
Well, people would have noticed from the episode title that this week is the fitness special. The cross-button VR
yes.
fitness special. We've all got our sweatbands on. You know, we've all been wearing the fitness attire. Yeah. Yeah, we've all got our Fitbits on and wearables. That's what we call them, the wearables.
Wearable
we
tech.
actually call them?
Coordinated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people. Yeah, wearables. That's what we call them. Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah,
How
it's
about
Ben,
that?
Alex and Reece. How are you, chaps?
All good.
Alright.
Good.
Very
You're
busy.
you're looking well. That's good. That's good.
How are you, Laurie?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Not too bad, actually.
Good man. Good man.
Yeah.
Good.
Right, that's the last time you get asked that for another year.
Yeah, well, thanks. I'm taken aback. Oh,
Just tick that off.
no one cares how I am. Well, actually, Ben,
Never again.
now you've mentioned it, I am feeling a little bit stressed out by modern life. And I just
Oh, God.
like to
Tell
spend the
us
next
more.
20 minutes. Well, I could spend the next 20 minutes just offloading, but that would not be fun.
Do you know
Let's-
what? We should do a mental health episode, though, as well. Just, I'll make a note of that as well.
Yeah, because
He's actually got a pen this time, which I'm happy about. He
He's
didn't have
got
a
a pen,
pen
he's
last time.
taking
Really
notes.
Pens
disappointed.
and a Synapse notepad.
Oh,
I don't
that
even
is a
have a
nice
Synapse.
notepad.
Have you got a Synapse pen? Wow.
Yeah, you got a Synapse pen.
I would
man.
have somewhere in that bag they sent us.
Here you go, Ben.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
mate.
I mean, it's no coincidence we made Synapse our game of the year for PSVR2, surrounded by all the Synapse swag that we are. It's totally independent
I
journalists.
have no
It's
Synapse
just like
swag.
the...
You didn't get
all
any
those
Synapse swag?
No, I didn't get any Synapse
Oh,
swag.
mate.
mate. I'm not cool enough for that.
Near luck.
Alex
Nah.
chatted to the right people and made a few calls. Yeah. No, it was nothing to do with the swag they sent us.
Alex
Obviously,
said
that's
he'd
the game
wear
anyway.
their merch and model it, didn't they? What he usually does.
We do
Send
usually
some pictures
wear
over
the
him
merch.
modelling the merch.
Or not modelling the merch.
Cool.
Okay.
Has anyone watched? There was a Synapse video, wasn't there? There was some video, some VR channel that, not VR, some YouTube channel that breaks down games and how they work and stuff. And someone did Synapse this week. This channel. I'll find it because we should have to retweet it from the CBR BVR. But it looks really interesting. I want to watch it. Yeah. Anyway, Synapse, great game. Right, let's talk about the news, shall we?
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Yeah, we need some jingles, don't we? Just to make Ben a
No,
little bit harder.
you don't need jingle.
No,
Let Ben do
jingles?
jingles.
Okay. Dun-dun-dun-dun.
There we go.
Cube VR is out now, as people are listening or watching this
Saturday.
episode. Yeah, it comes out. Obviously, not now for us recording. So
Yeah.
we don't actually know. We haven't played it, but by the time this episode comes out, it is now out. So yeah, see what I did there, Reece? You see? I'm
The sickness
Right.
is destroying my
Ruined.
brain. Can you let?
Ruined it a little bit there, but never mind. So this, for anyone that does not know, is a gorgeous-looking Minecraft em-up made by
Did you
one
know it's
person.
gorgeous looking if you've
Yep.
not tried it yet?
Developed by one person.
I've seen videos of it. I mean, I haven't played it yet, so I don't know. And I don't know we're going to be... Oh, well, I think someone might be covering this for us, but I don't think I will be. So we'll wait till next week and someone will share some views on it. Who knows? But yeah, it does look impressive. And yeah, for one person to make something like this, it looks very good. And it's been a lot of I've been seeing promoted ads for this game on my Twitter feed for like months and months now. And I'm like, what is this game? And like, fair play to the one dev who's obviously put some budget into doing some targeted adverts. People obviously that tweet about PSVR2 must be being sent these adverts and stuff. But yeah, it looks really good. So I hope it does well for him or her.
Yeah,
Should we say him?
hope so.
Yeah. Then
Yeah, I think you've said this. You've told me before it's a he. I think so. I think I'm safe in that.
I think so.
Yeah, QVR. But yeah, I think it's like a Minecrafty type adventure-y type thing. Amazing looking kind of lighting and graphics, like really impressive looking graphics. And I'm kind of surprised that Minecraft isn't out on PSVR2 because it is on PSVR 1, isn't it?
Yeah.
God, my son would be obsessed with it.
It's not as good as you want it to be. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, I
it's
guess
not-
Microsoft's heart's not really in it. They don't. They
no,
don't
it's
do
disappointing.
VR at all, do they? So I don't know if they would put much resources into it. But
Yeah.
yeah, my son's got a series of books that are just like adventure novels, and the whole theme of it is just these kids in a school. They put their headsets on, these VR headsets on. They play Minecraft in VR. It's like they're going into the game and.
What's that called?
Called Minecraft.
The Wood Sword Chronicles, I believe. Or yeah. And then the second series is called the Stone Sword Chronicles. But he loved them. So anyone with young kids who are about I don't know, 7, 8 years
Is
old.
it actually licensed by Minecraft, or is it just like a third party thing?
Yeah, I think so. I think they've kind of have a hand in it. Yeah, it's good because as the books have gone on and as they've added stuff to the games, they've kind of added stuff into it kind of comes in the books as well and stuff. So they're very well written. I've read quite a lot of them too, a lot of them to him, and they're quite enjoyable to read. And he can read them himself, which is good. I started read a chapter and then he'll read like 3 of them before I make him go to sleep. And they're very good. But the point is, that I'm trying to get to is that if he could actually play Minecraft in VR, he'd be like, oh my god, this is like this books that I love, and I can actually do it for real now. And it is a cool concept because you want to just be in that world. It's kind of it's just an immersive world that people just like about with their mates in, and to be able to do that in VR would be fine.
Yeah, definitely.
So I hope Cube VR does well because that's kind of like the nearest I think we'll ever get. So yeah, thoughts on that one soon. Also out today for people watching and listening to this, Reece, if you say anything.
All right.
The Twilight Zone VR is coming out. So that launches on March the 19th. So the day this episode drops. And this is episodic, 3 episodes, each about 45 minutes long, telling 3 completely separate but loosely connected stories, very much in the kind of vein of the Twilight Zone, unsurprisingly. And I think they kind of vary up the gameplay between them. This is a quest port. I hadn't actually heard of this until the press release came out last week, saying this was coming out. And yeah, I'm keen to give it a go. It sounds intriguing. I like the idea that it just takes a couple of hours to get through. That is certainly appealing. To me.
Sounds like something a friend of the show, Lewis Wilson, might enjoy. He likes weird shit, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, Alan Wake kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Control.
he likes that. Yep.
Style of
Twin Peaks.
You don't like
Yes.
Control? Yeah, Twin Peaks, yeah, that's the thing. You don't like Control, do you, Ben?
I thought it was a very average game.
You fucking idiot.
Bye, everyone. Let's go now. End the podcast.
Yeah.
No, it was a
Moving moles and some music.
perfectly fine game, clearly made by professionals. It was good.
It was. Had a very, very small budget as well, I think. Like a fraction of what like the Sony sort of big budget games cost. So, yeah, really are very good at developing games. Anyway, I'll keep going off topic. So Twilight Zone, anyway. I think the reviews for this on Quest are kind of fair to good. It's a 7, it seems to be, looking at some reviews, because it came out on Quest last year. It's a port over. I think some of the reviews I've read of it said that it's got kind of dodgy kind of shooting mechanics where it doesn't need it and stuff, which I thought was like, that's annoying, because I don't want shooting games, and especially something like this. If it's just 45 minutes long, I'd happily sit there and just be told a story for 45 minutes and just wandering around as an actor in the show. That's enough gameplay for me? Like, I don't know. I think if you're going to tell a really compelling story, I think before I showed that you don't actually need kind of much gameplay in VR. Just being in the world and traversing is gameplay. So just to shoehorn in like shooting stuff, because developers are like, oh yeah, people need to shoot stuff. That's like, that puts me off it. But it's short enough that it'd be worth just trying out, I think, and trying for myself really. And yeah, I like what they said, the devs, when they were in touch with you, Reece, saying if you don't like episode 1, episode 2 is very different, so try that. And if you don't like episode 2, try episode 3.
I think that's what I gathered from the reviews on Quest, though, is it was the varied gameplay. Some people preferred one thing more than the other. So I think that the varied gameplay works for some, but not for everyone.
Yeah, more episodic games, and there came a point where you kind of thought that episodic games were going to be like huge with like all the Telltale games. They couldn't stop churning them out at one point, would they? They went for a phase. And in VR, actually, an episodic game series would work really well. I know Dyschronia. Is it Dyschronia? What is it called?
Yeah. But that was in 3 chapters, Dyschronia, but they were very long. Like, so
okay.
It's not like that was almost like 3. There was almost chapters within each chapter, so that was too long. But something like this, kind of 45-minute episode, I think is perfect for VR.
Yeah, I'd love that because like we watch TV series, like I'm watching Shogun at the moment, and that's like an hour a week, and that's great. And just imagine if they put out a VR release and it released it every week or once a month, you got a new episode. Just was literally just an hour, and then you had to wait for the next one. I think that would work really well in VR. In a way that normal gaming, that would annoy people because people are like, no, just let me keep playing. Fuck off, why have you and give me an hour of content? But in VR, I think people are much happier to have smaller bite-sized things. There you go, another little tip there for developers.
I think the other thing, I don't know, sorry Laurie, in case you were going to mention this, but they released a video on Twitter for this, basically showing a comparison of it went from Quest to PS VR2 and the graphics back and forward, and the difference was quite immense. It'd be interesting to see how good it looks on the PS VR2.
I was not going to mention that, Alex. No, I had not seen that video. I'll check that out.
It looks very impressive.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I like a decent port that's had some love put into it.
The wee facelift. I do one of them myself.
Well, you said it. Also out now, there's been lots of surprise releases, isn't there, this week? This last week, we didn't know any of this stuff was coming, and now, boom, here we go. Third game on the list, Tin Hearts, out now. Number 1. Hey!
Thought it was already out.
Yeah, surprise release.
That's what everyone has been saying, isn't it? I thought it was out with it.
Was that demo?
I played this months ago. What? Yeah, I don't know why, because the demo, we played it at EGX, and then they released the demo shortly after. They must have found some pretty big issues, because, I guess they must have got some good feedback and stuff. And Alex, you said yourself, actually, when you played at EGX, you'd be like, I don't know what I'm doing, it's not clear what I'm supposed to be doing. So I guess, yeah, in translating it to VR, they probably learnt a lot, and, yeah, tested a lot, and wanted to push it off. So I've not had a chance to play it since it launched, but I'm keen to play it. I thought it played pretty well when I played the demo of it before. I really enjoyed the few levels that were included in the demo. It was quite a generous demo, wasn't it? It was quite a few.
It was.
I actually broke the demo at EGX.
Of course you did, Reece. Yeah.
Surprise, surprise.
The bloke had to take the headset off me. Can't fix the demo.
Yeah. It's like, I don't understand. That shouldn't be possible. It's
It
like
was him that took all that time away from the children.
Yeah, it's like the Simpsons episode where Homer's in the test simulator thing with the nuclear meltdown, and the scientists are like, I don't understand. There's nothing in there. It's like, he still manages to order. Yeah, that's you, Reece. That is you, that is.
He was asking me a ton of questions. Like, how did you break it? I was like, I did this, and then I did that, and then I fell to the floor, and it wouldn't let me go back. He was like, yeah, that should have happened. I was like, I assumed it shouldn't have happened.
For fuck's sake. Idiots breaking our games. So anyway, I hope people like and enjoy this game, because it looks like a really nice... I really can't wait to play it. I've never played the original flat Tin Hearts.
I like the demo.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, looks good, looks quality.
And if you had played the original or have the original, it is a free upgrade, which is also very nice.
Very nice. Nice. We got another release date this week for Big Shots. Great name for a game. Big Shots. It's a mech co-op shooter that kind of looks a bit Borderlands-y.
Roguelike.
Is it roguelike? Is it? Oh.
What?
Is it actually?
Oh.
We're out.
18th of April, that comes out. So if you still haven't had your fill of roguelikes, I feel really bad. But don't say that. I feel really bad because, like, give it a chance on its own. Yeah, it needs to. But yeah, I feel bad for devs. They're like, oh fuck, everyone hates roguelikes now. But yeah, we're committed. But we'll carry on making this game. But
I'll try it. I've been interested in it, so
it looks like a Reece game.
Until today, I noticed that it was one of the videos I seen. I think when they released it was on the release date trailer or something, and it said, and I seen the word roguelite, and
I think it's a good job you're here, Alex. You don't miss a trick.
Yeah, that is good. You're here.
I'll be able to block the word roguelite out of my head now to not put myself off games anymore.
My other tip for developers: if you're going to make a roguelike, fine, make a roguelike, but just make like a non-roguelike campaign. And if that only takes me an hour to get through, you just stitch all of your rooms you've made so that you sort of randomly generate. Make a sort of like a campaign. If it takes me an hour, I'm fine with that. That's absolutely fine. I'd rather have an hour really, really sort of solid content. And if people want to keep playing your game because they love it and they want to just keep going into it and keep upgrading their stuff and building their loot and doing all that kind of stuff, great, more power to them. But I don't have the time, especially in VR, to be playing roguelites. So yeah, it's a turn off for people, and I feel like you kind of need to give people that options. I think
I like them.
Of course you do.
So
Mr.
keep
Hades.
making
Weird. Never heard to speak about them.
Well, that's fine. Exactly what I'm saying. Like, make a game. Like, have both modes, right? Just give me the short version of the game, and then you
play
can
it properly.
No,
Play
or
it properly.
not.
Wait, right, this whole thing about roguelikes, like, that's what arcade games were back in the day. You put your money in, you died a few times, and then it was game over. That's
Yep.
This is no different. So
But
everyone going, oh, I don't like roguelikes. It's like, these games have been out for 40 years. Chill out.
They called them arcade games, and I felt happy about that.
Yeah, exactly. And we've said VR, perfect space for arcade-like experiences. So,
I will play them
and
because I like.
these
I like the
devs,
net.
as like last week's episode, the interview, it's a more budget-friendly way to make a game, isn't it? And put a game out to
Yeah,
market.
definitely.
Like, so, just back off, Laurie.
All right. Jesus Christ. Taking your
no.
paycheck there from Big Roguelike.
You don't see the back in the corner.
Ben's going to leave the podcast later on. Little Mick's walking
No,
away.
let's just come on. Ben likes roguelike so much. Let's all hang up and we'll start this conversation again from the start now, and we'll start a new run. We'll start a new run of this episode. Make all the listeners start again from scratch. Hello and good day to you, my beautiful friends. I do hope you are well. Welcome to episode. No, we're not.
I'm out.
Best TFC I've been known by. Prevented by Ben.
No, this episode needs to end at some point. We haven't even gone to the main point of discussion because I've got one more big news story, and Perp Games are carrying the flag when it comes to releasing games on PS VR2 this year. It would seem. Well, what a publisher! So all these games I'm about to go through, they just dated 4 games. I've got with dates now. All of them are getting physical editions as well. So you physical friends. You're going to be happy. Physical friends, you're going to be happy. Freaks. No, I didn't say that. Friends. Happy Funland. March 22nd. That's very soon. That's like within days of this episode going out. Happy Funland. Happy Funland is... what are you doing in that game? It's like a horror game.
It's kind of Five Nights at Freddy's. It's kind of Five
yeah,
Nights
I
at
thought
Freddy's-esque,
that.
I think.
Five Nights at Freddy's. I mean, what do you even do in that game? I've never played that. Has anyone played Five Nights at Freddy's?
I bet
Like,
Reece has.
fight with teddies or something, do you know?
Fight the
Is that what you
teddies.
do? Fight with teddies. Okay, well, they one daddy play 5 nights.
No, they're like, I know it's
That's
like
always the
evil.
impression I got. Like,
It's
for
like
Five
the
Nights
kids.
at
The kids
Freddy's.
like it, don't they? It's a big thing with the kids.
Broken AI animatronic attacking back.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, so Happy Funland. I'm guessing you're in a kind of haunted
Theme
house,
park, I
fun
think.
fair,
Theme
fun fair
park.
thing where all of the animatronics are trying to kill you and take over. I don't know what you're doing in this game though. Is it like a shooter or an explorer? Or is it a puzzle game? I guess
It's a
there's no way.
roguelike. It's a horror roguelike.
No.
No, I guess it's impossible to find out, so we might as well move on. Madison VR. Talking of horror games, whoa, it is a proper horror game. 29th of March, that was dated, which I think is a week, another delay, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
this
was
is
supposed
like-
to be 22nd. Yeah.
Definitely not coming out on that day. It's going to definitely be another week.
Oh no, that's out now, surely.
Well, yeah. There's been some previews for that, haven't there? Just saying it's the most scariest game people have ever played, so.
Yeah, Ben's going to stream it.
Yep.
Reece, you like your horror games, don't you, Reece?
I've played part of the non-VR one of Madison, and I found it very creepy there. So I think it's going to be extremely scary in VR.
So
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
we did a after our episode with Miles Dyer, we did a post-show interview which we actually forgot to record. Just a bit more chat with him, and
Yeah.
he was saying that it's Yeah, we were talking about it with him and stuff, and it definitely doesn't sound like a game I want to play. Yeah, but if you like your horror games and you really like your horror and your proper horror, not your fun, happy fun land, let's also have fun at the same time. No, this is proper horror. It's going to mess you up and probably stop you from going to sleep at night. Fill your boots, I say. Fill your boots.
Do you not think that's just commercial suicide, though? Why release 2 horror games within a week of each other from the same publisher when you waited so long for each of them anyway? Why?
Yeah, I don't know. Especially because the next game on the list is Metropolis 2, which we talked about last week. That's coming out on the 24th of May. So you've got a lovely April-sized gap there.
Unless that's actually when Madison VR is going to come out.
Well, yeah. Just push it back another week.
You're really doubtful of this, aren't you?
But yeah, because like Madison, that would have been 22nd. They would have that's got to come out in March. So yeah, they could have put Funland in April and just given that a bit more space. But I don't know. They're probably, if you're a horror fan, you could probably play both of those, right? I can't imagine Happy Funland's going to take someone more than a few hours.
I think they'd be quite different as well, to be fair. But it just felt like why when you didn't have a date on that one and Madison was supposed to come out the 22nd, would you then come along and release it at the same time? Just felt a bit off, but a bit.
Yeah,
it does seem like they're publishing a lot of VR games though, so they're probably like having to push them out to kind of take more in.
Yeah,
so I suppose it does seem like Metropolis that's being published by Purpose, or they're doing the physical release of that. So it does seem like they're taking on a lot of new VR games, which is great to see. Maybe that's why they're now starting. But okay, this one's ready. Let's get this out.
And then there was a 4th game on the little press release they did, and it's. We just got very much a teaser for this. It was Slender the Arrival VR. And that's coming, well, they reckon it's coming on September the 13th, but there's no way.
I think that's the 10th anniversary of the game coming out.
I'm extremely excited for that one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's coming soon, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, the original game, and obviously it was 10 years ago, so it's not just going to be a base port. I'm sure there's going to be a bit more of a remake to it, or maybe not. I don't know. 10 years. Bulletstorm, I suppose that was 10 years ago, wasn't it? And that was just a port. So
let's hope it's better than that.
Well, they did updates for it. It originally came out. You couldn't buy it on Steam when it first came out on PC. You had to buy it on their website, and then they brought it to console a few years after that. Did a graphic update, then another graphic update on the PS5 version, I believe. So I'm assuming it's going to look pretty good. I always remember it looking good.
I'm pretty sure that's also Friday the 13th.
Oh,
nice.
Nice.
There you go then. So a bunch of new games either out now or coming that we now know about, which is good to see the PSVR2 release calendar filling up and getting populated, because I think a few weeks ago, a couple of months ago, didn't know what was going to be coming out this year. And I think for me, Tin Heart's the highlight of all that lot. So yeah, look forward to seeing whatever makes for the rest of it. Cool. Is there anything I've missed, Alex? Because you pay much more attention than I do.
I don't think so. I think there's been quite a lot of news across the VR space, like in terms of Quest and stuff as well. But I think that's been about it for VR2. Saying that, it's been a lot. It's definitely been a lot this week.
Okay, well, we've got a big, chunky, meaty, big topic to get into, so let's move on and talk about that. But before we do, if people would like to support us, they can give the podcast a sub on the service they're using. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons and leave us a little comment too, because that's always nice. You can follow us on Twitter at CrossbuttonVR and at the Crossplayers. And if you'd really like to show the love, you can do so via patreon.com/the Crossplayers. And for £2 a month, you can join our little gang and join entry into our little WhatsApp group. And you can help Reece build a PC as well on it, which has been today's fun.
Stop.
Yeah, and anyone out there who doesn't have perfect eyesight, check out VR-rock.com to buy prescription lenses for any of your VR headsets. And yeah, you can use the code CBVR and get 10% off and free worldwide shipping. So that's cool. Fitness special time. Woo! Ben, you do a little jingle.
Fitness!
I mean,
That's
not your best one.
That was an Alex. That was up there with
The look of terror in your eyes, Ben, like, oh fuck, he wants me to do something.
That's definitely the new
just
buzzer.
say the same word.
You were reading something else, but you were doing something else.
No.
So all of this week we have been
Fitness.
yeah.
Can I get my guitar?
Yeah.
Go on, take your guitar.
Drum away.
Facing this stuff from Reece there.
Stop it.
No, don't do it, don't. All this week we have been playing fitness games on our PS VR2.
What?
Other VR headsets are available. Ben, as you are the trooper that has been playing all of the games we agreed we would play, I think we've all played some, or between. You've played all of them, and then the rest of us have all played 2 or 3 of them. Yeah. But, Ben,
Yep.
would you like to tell us what games you have been playing this week?
Sure.
Just list them out for us.
Fitness. Mate, I've been playing.
Can I get a fitness?
We all agreed to play
We
5
all
games,
agreed.
wasn't
We
it?
said we would play 5.
We all
right,
said we were going to do it.
We didn't do
so
that.
it was Beat the Beats, Beat Saber, Synth Riders, Les Mis Body Combat, and Pistol Whip. And those were the 5.
Those were the 5 games we judged that were like you actually work up a sweat playing. I don't think there's anything in the PSVR2's library that we have missed there when it comes to. Well, there was there's
Ones that are similar.
There's Creed.
Yeah.
Championship edition.
fitnessy.
Yeah, Rise to
Okay, so
Glory.
we're not saying it's
But
like a.
It's not a definitive list, but these are probably like our favourites of those.
And also getting a
games
spread
that we
of
play.
kind of styles as well there, because we're trying to get different ones that were kind of very gamey, like Pistol Whip, very trainery,
Very gamey.
like Les Mis, and then everything, some other stuff in between, some music stuff and all that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah.
Ben, you've done some science.
I did do some science. Yes, I've
Go
got
on
a
then.
spreadsheet and everything.
Some science.
So yeah, I'll break down the numbers first of all, and then we'll just go into a general feelings on each of the games. But the numbers are.
Can we have like wording going across the screen? Numbers.
Yeah, so you're gonna do, Ben, if you could do like a Sky Sports News overlay, it's just a little ticker,
Yeah,
across the
a little
bottom.
ticker at the bottom.
We're
Okay,
now
so,
talking about
so to start with, so I've got a control group here as well of a run and a bike exercise that I tracked, just so we can compare VR fitness to more traditional fitness
I love it.
things
Okay.
that we can do. So to give you a baseline, the fucking hell, I did a 30-minute run. I say run, 30-minute wobble,
Oh.
and a 30-minute bike ride on the Peloton. Now,
Oh, on
that-
oh, could have just said exercise bike, but no, just make sure all the listeners know that Ben owns a Peloton. Whilst drinking from my wine fridge.
whilst watching Shogun. It was amazing.
Oh yeah, great.
Anyway, so there was that. So interestingly, so half an hour on both of those.
Go on.
I burned 500 calories doing the run and 502 on the bike.
Nice.
So that averages 17 calories per minute for both of those exercises. And my average heart rate
averages at 501.
So the mean. Shush! This is the serious bit. And then my average heart rate for both of those was 143 for exactly the same for both of them. So that gives us a nice baseline of like
Wow. Yeah.
where what's a decent workout anyway, or an average workout.
So you're just running just on the streets of London?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Interesting. That's exactly the same as a 30-minute Peloton. That's I'm surprised.
Yeah. I mean, that's just my most recent ones. So
Sorry, no, that's off topic.
it is. So let's compare the workouts from in VR. So Beat the Beats first of all. That I was very excited. So I did a 44-minute workout on Beat the Beats, and average calories per minute for that one was 16.
That's not
So that's quite
Very good.
close. Yeah, and my average heart rate was actually higher at 149. So that obviously higher heart rate, you can, that suggests that you're in the fat burning zone for longer during that workout, and also got 2,855 steps in whilst playing that, and the run, half an hour run, I got 3,790 steps. So again, considering I was like out running for 30 minutes, that's quite a few steps to get whilst stood indoors playing a video game. So I think Beat the Beats probably was the overall closest to what a traditional workout would be anyway. And then we've got Beat Saber. So I just did 15 minutes on Beat Saber and burned 174 calories. So that was 12 calories per minute. So that's a bit lower than the others. Average heart rate 122.
You playing
Still
on easy
decent.
though?
Obviously, there are several factors to take into account.
What was your favourite song?
This isn't an exact science. And then Synth Riders was a bit lower than that as well. So
That's interesting.
16 minutes, burned 9 calories per minute,
dear.
and average heart rate of 107. And that, interestingly, I did those one after the other, and I did Synth Riders after, so you would have thought my heart rate would have been up having played Beat Saber, so you'd have thought I'd have kind of stayed up and higher, but obviously not. And then Les Mis Body Combat, that burned 11 calories per minute with an average heart rate of 116, and Pistol Whip was basically exactly the same, 11 per minute, and then average heart rate of 117. So, all in all, Beat the Beats is the closest to a traditional workout. Close, well, not too closely, but followed by sort of Beat Saber, Les Mills, Pistol Whip, and then Synth Riders at the bottom in terms of calories burned and average heart rate. So there we go. That's the science bit done.
Wow, I'm actually very impressed in Beat the Beats.
No,
Yeah, so what was your hypothesis and what's your conclusion?
So my hypothesis, Laurie, is as follows.
Hypothesis.
We started falling the same thing.
So I think it's the act of like your whole body moving and actually putting some force behind what you're doing with your arms. So obviously something like Synth Riders, which was quite low down on that list, you're mostly just slowly waving them from one place to the other. There are a few bits, and there is an option to do like force mode or something, isn't there? But the general game of Synth Riders is more passive. And the same with Pistol Whip. You're moving about a lot, you're crouching, doing a lot of squatting, but you're just pointing a gun and pulling a trigger finger, so you're not like... I think it's punching that basically makes a difference, right? Swaying from side to side, ducking, all the rest of it contributes to that. But I definitely did find I was moving my feet a lot more playing Beat the Beats as well, because I think it just encourages you to sort of move from side to side and move about a lot more than the others. So that's my hypothesis. So needing to have a bit of force behind what you're doing, basically. But it's just more active than the others. Les Mills is pretty active as well. But
I suppose in it. Sorry, Ben.
No. I think also maybe the music contributes to it. So I think Les Mills falls down in that area where the music isn't as like you've got somebody shouting at you constantly, going, "Oh, you did fucking amazing there, mate! Great," but you don't have like the same level of that pumping synesthesia that we enjoy so much. There's not as much of that going on. So. Yeah,
we should have got you to play Sea Smash for half hour as well. Added that to the mix, because that would be a good one.
Yeah, that would have been good.
I imagine playing actual squash works out with quite a big sweat.
I played it once with my brother, who's morbidly obese, and he kicked my ass. And I have never had such a sore bum.
Oh wow!
It was really.
He literally kicked your ass.
Yeah, it felt like it. For days afterwards. Yeah, for days. So yeah, avoid squash. But yeah,
yes.
Another
plus for
Beat the Beats. Beat the Beats is the winner.
So that would be
the
winner. That was if you wanted to get fit, that would be the game you would turn to. If you wanted to,
and how close it was to your like to the stats that were from the bike and the run was very similar. So
And
it's a proper workout.
Do you think you'd find yourself, because obviously going for a run outdoors, great, doing your Peloton, you could watch stuff on your TV or you can do some class and stuff on it. Do you think you would do that over Beat the Beats? Is there enough there, that kind of synesthesia, I guess, to pull you away and think, well, actually, I'm going to do a workout now. I'm not going to go for a run. I'm not going to do that. Knowing that it's going to be the same calories burn and heartbeat elevation. Do you think actually I'll go for the? And it probably must be better for kind of a toning point of view, because you're burning your calories on your bike, but actually swinging those punches is going to be doing great for your upper body, your flexibility, and building that muscle tone as well.
Yeah, so I think it's a good. I wouldn't say that this should be like your daily workout, but as an alternative, So I've been sort of setting my alarm first thing in the morning, getting up and doing some form of exercise. Some days I can't be asked to do anything, so I'll just go for a walk. Other days I feel like full of energy, so I just go out for a run. And then there's days where it's raining outside. I'll just put the VR headset on and do half an hour in that. And so it's like it's another option to have, and knowing that it is actually making some sort of difference is a bonus.
Well,
Don't feel like you're wasting your time. Yeah.
Lovely, Ben. Lovely. Well, thank you for sharing all that with us, Ben, and thank you for being so rigorous in your scientific methods.
I am nothing if not rigorous.
True professional. Well, Reece, do you want to have a go next? Because you have been saying this is changing your life this week. This experiment.
I've really enjoyed doing it. I wish I did more of the game set out to do, but I didn't start doing it until the middle of the week.
It's all right. Just baby steps.
I need baby steps on fitness games. So the ones I did was Sim Riders. That was the first one. Then I went on to Beat Saber, and then I did Beat the Beat before I came on today. So I did 35 minutes on Sim Riders, which surprisingly that was the one that made me burn the most calories, and also did the most steps. But I find when I play rhythm games, I move around a lot. I was standing to the side while spinning my arm around with these. It was, I'm glad no one could see me. So that one I found I burnt the most, and got my watch was vibrating for all the things I was hitting. So that one was quite impressive, and it surprised me because I always found Synth Riders to be more of a rhythm game than anything fitness related for myself. I then went on the next day to do Beat Saber, and I burned less calories on that, did less step, and I did 30 minutes on that, and I was playing on a higher difficulty and moving more. So I don't get that one. But yeah. So
forget what the watch was telling you. How did you feel coming out of it? Did you feel...
I felt sweatier, and more fitness was done from Sim Riders, which I think was my major shock, because I've always used Beat Saber as a fitness game on VR, even back for PSR1, so I think that's what surprised me a lot.
I feel like you do more stretching in Synth Riders. I feel like you have to move in different directions, whereas Beat Saber you can kind of you don't really need to move about too much.
A bit more.
When you end up playing on Expert and things like that, Beat Saber, you rely on your wrists. You don't ever move your arms. If you move your arms, you're going to lose your score. It's pointless. So from the first time I was playing how I'd normally play, and I was like, this isn't going to do anything. So I started playing like I would have. I was just going really at it and moving around. Yeah, it didn't really do as much as I thought it was going to. So I think that's the biggest shock I've got from this, is that I think it's made me have more of a love for Sim Riders as well, because I really enjoy going through and playing more of the music pack from there. I've had some songs that I used to listen to in my childhood as well. So I've had a blast of Sim Riders this week.
Little tip on Sim Riders as well: you can do that filter and search by and sort and just go for the highest BPM.
Yeah,
tracks.
I've played a lot of the electronic tracks. I think Zardonic was on there, the Emmet, and things like that, for all their kind of electronic dubstep, drum and bass tracks I used to listen to a lot.
Sim Riders, I've really noticed as well the difference between normal and hard, because there's 5, isn't there? And
I was playing on normal.
It was easy, normal. I don't know, but there's a big step up from normal to the next one up. There's a big step, and then if you go to the very highest one, it's kind of ridiculous. So, I think if you really wanted to make Sim Riders a much more kind of intensive experience, I think moving off of normal was the way.
And then I did Oh, go on.
No, I was going to say no. It just felt like that's where I feel like these games let themselves down from a fitness perspective, though, because I felt like then when you're playing that game and you maybe want to go to that higher intensity, you need the skill to be able to do it, and then you just get to a stage where it just fails. So it almost, to an extent, defeats the purpose if you're aiming for a fitness is to go in for these higher levels, because like if you go up that level in Beat Saber, you're going to get so far in and it's just going to fail. It's going to demoralise you. You're going to be like, I'm just going to stop. I think you need to pick the right level to hit it, where you're going to be able to complete the goal and going to stick at it. Whereas if you go and try and get it too high because you think that's going to give you a more intense workout, it might give you a more intense workout if you get the skill to complete it, but if you don't, you're probably actually going to get a lot less out of it.
And it's that balancing that game with the fitness thing, and that's for me. And I know Reece, you found similar when I've been playing Beat the Beats. I can get through some levels, but sometimes I'll fail just because I'm not hitting it. I think it's a problem with the collision detection, because I think I'm going for it and I think I should have hit it, and it tells me I've missed it, and it's very frustrating when that happens. And I think, well, it must be a me problem. And I guess Ben, you're not getting that because you're really loving it.
Yeah, I did. I can't say I did notice any issues with the hit detection, to be honest.
And so then, to your point, Alex, exactly that. Like when I then fail the level, you have to start again. You feel like I'm in the middle of a workout, and now you've stopped it, and I'm having to sort of rewind, start again, and that's kind of not just demoralising, because it's not because I wasn't fit enough. It's just because the game's just not. I'm just not skillful enough at what the game wants me to do. So yeah, this is, as a fitness tool. It's as I said to you, there should be a mode where it's just like, just fuck off, just give me I've moved my arm to try and get it, that I've done the exercise. That's what's important here. Like just let me carry on at least, and just find enough to take the score down and lose my combo multiplier or whatever and stuff, and I'll start my.
But let me get through it.
Yeah, let me get through it still, so I can move on to the next thing. Because I was like, why are you gating? Why are you gating all this stuff on it? I wanted to play this game to get fit, so there could just be a fitness mode where they take off all of any penalty for losing.
Because they do that on Beat Saber. You've got no foul mode.
No fail mode.
Yeah. So I think that's actually a good thing that they could add to Beat the Beats.
Has Sim Rider's got that? I feel like that might.
I don't know if Sim Rider's got modifiers. Yeah,
it's got a lot. It's got a lot of nerve.
Just counterpoint to that though, and I do think it's a valid point. So I'm not sort of arguing against it, but for a gamer mentality rather than a fitness mentality, you could almost. And I found myself doing this with Beat the Beats with the level I was really struggling to get past. I played way longer than I thought I was going to. So it made me do more fitness than I was planning to, because I was like, no, I can do this. I can beat this level. And I, replayed it over and over again. So I think that is the other side of that, is it will trick us gamers into doing more fitness because we're determined to beat a level.
That's what I remember always Ring Fit Adventure, because I had that and I have that, and that always suckers you in for I think I'll just do one more level, and then half hour later you think, for fuck's sake, this is that level is absolutely massive. Really love it, but you're like, I'm going to get through this because I don't want to finish a level halfway through. I'll just start again from scratch. Can't have that.
I think that depends on the game as well, because I'm not sure I would find that as much in these ones, because I find in the rhythm games I'm like, I either can do it or I can't, and I get to say just stop. Whereas if it's something like Pistol Whip, and I feel like going back to some of the times where we did Pistol Whip for VR the Champions and you were chasing those scores and you were going over and over again, you were just blinkered and you're like, no, I'm going to get the high score in this level, and you kept going and you kept going and you kept going without realising and seeing the benefits that you were actually getting out of doing that. And I remember coming out of that at night in floods of sweat, literally my t-shirt had changed colour because I was drenched in sweat, trying to get the high score in that. So there is that side of it as well, Ben. I completely agree.
Yeah, it's just go on.
No, I was just to say that's probably a good. But I know we wanted to cover off the general pluses and minuses of VR fitness, right? And I think Alex mentioned in leaderboards, I think that's a really strong one, because having that competitive element to it and seeing, okay, Reece is above me on the leaderboard, I need to try and do this a few more times. So it's an incentive to do it. It's silly, but we're all wired like that to want to.
No, totally, because you have Strava, that running app that you and all your mates can sort of compare who's running the furthest and stuff, and some people just don't engage with it at all. But I've got some mates that are really competitive, and they'll just go out and they won't mention they're being competitive, but when it comes to the day to do the 10k with his mate, he will always be do whatever he can to win it and stuff. And it's just like the dark horse kind of thing, because it's just there's that competitive mentality. So I think if you have a group of you all just saying, right, let's all do some, pick a game and we'll all try and be the best at it and stuff, and we'll get fit whilst we're doing it. I think that's a great motivator.
Definitely.
Sounds good.
My experience. So I played. What did I play? I played Beat the Beats, and I Beat the Beats, Synth Riders, and Les Mills or Lemmies Body Combat. And Beat the Beats, I really like it. And we've reviewed the game already, so just not talk about the game at all. But as a fitness thing, I think it's good. It got my heart going. But that's for me where the frustration came. It kept knocking me back, which got me frustrated. And I think I played about 20 minutes of it in the end before I was just like, this is getting too annoying, because I kept failing levels when I felt like I shouldn't be. And I'm interested to play it again now they've done an update to supposedly improve the hit detection. So I'm hoping that's fix the problems, because I'd love to keep playing more of it, because there's modes of it that I saw and it's just like, no, you need to unlock this first or do this first. So I'm like, oh, okay, so I need to get through this album. But I keep failing this track. Okay, fair enough. I'll just guess I won't see that bit for now. So that's that. And Synth Riders, again, love that as a game. I think I agree with you, Ben. I don't. That definitely felt more passive for me, and that was definitely more of the fun game. I see that more as a, like, you kind of work up a sweat when you're dancing a lot, like a kind of on a dance floor, and you just are dancing a lot. But it's not. It's a different sort of, like, because it's more. You're just going for so long, and it's hot and it's sweaty, and you don't realise how hot you are and how sweaty you get, because you're just having fun when you're doing it. And Synth Riders for me is like, out of all the games I've played, that is the most fun, I think, because you just essentially, it's not really exercise so much as you're just dancing, and dancing's fun. It's just people, humans like dancing, and that's kind of what that game is. And you just makes you feel good playing it as well. So I'm sure that part of it is that, because the music and the way that you're going to dance to it, there must be some sort of kind of endorphin kind of thing that makes it fun to do as well, and appealing to keep going back to and stuff, which again is a key part of it.
Well, it is, right? It's not all about the stats and the calories burned and stuff. It is just moving makes you feel good, right?
Yeah.
And
it is enjoyable just being in there and stuff. So and I think probably that has the edge on Beat the Beats for me for that reason. Just I think it's just that I prefer the kind of the actions of what you're doing, the kind of the verb of it, I suppose, rather than the punching. Whereas Les Mills, that is undoubtedly for me, if I was going to do a fitness thing, it's that, because the difference for me to have the personal trainer guys, they're so cheesy, but personal trainers are like that in real life. They are like complete dorks, but they just make you laugh whilst you're doing it, and it's like they're not trying to. They don't want you to take it too seriously. Like you need to be like laughing and smiling to keep going when they're sort of pushing you to do an extra bit and stuff. But and I definitely worked out the biggest sweat playing that for a good kind of it was about 40 minutes, and I took the headset off and I was proper sweating on that. And I needed to change into my gym stuff to do that properly, because that is, you are swinging punches and squatting, and there's a lot of squats and then punching and
knees.
My knees were going. It's good, and there's a moves on that where you kind of have to lift up to grab things, and then you pull them down. You knee them basically. So you bring your knee up and you bring this thing down, and you can smash the target over your knee. And it's a great kind of mechanic. I was like, I should do this. This should be more in like other just completely different VR games should nick this mechanics. It feels so good to kind of just like smash it with your knee to smash this target open. But I think the music in it, you're right, is just a bit like meh. It's not really. It's a bit forgettable.
Yeah, the whole presentation's a bit meh, isn't it? I think it's half the.
I have to turn the instructors off on it. I can't stand them.
I love them. I
can't stand them. Yeah, nah.
Because I just think that they do motivate me. I find them motivational. It's like, I think if you don't have time for that, then I can see.
Yeah. I think they are quite handy when they're like commenting on your form, even though they can't see you. Like they'll remind you and rotate at the shoulders and things like that, and you're like, oh yeah, shit, I need to, don't I? because
and they're
it's
like,
very
right.
easy to lose your forms.
So like, right, you've done 3 now, we've got 4 more to do. Come on, you can do this. I'm like, okay, we can do this. Come on.
Struth, you're strong. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
really
we're going to turn it up a bit now. Come on, you can do it. And it's like, okay, I can do this. I can do it. They're like, you've done it before, you can do it again. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
I was thinking you both
But I
the
like
audio, the instructions are going to play him while I play the game, and to see that makes you feel any better.
Yeah, but go on.
But I think, and I agree with Ben here in terms of it lets itself down a bit in its presentation, and it's not so much in the presentation of the game itself, but it's like the kind of fake leaderboards and all that side of it. I'm like, if you're going to do that, like, let me, like, see if the 4 of us could go and do a class together. I know we wouldn't necessarily do it, but have it as being real people there, and I know that's not as easy to do as it is, and it's not what they're trying to do there. I mean, that's a hell of a lot more than what they're presenting to you, but it would make a difference if it was a real leaderboard. You know, the other people are doing this at the same time. You actually believed the stuff that was saying there, and you're just like,
it's got the quickest matchmaking.
I do agree with
that. You jump into the level, and it's like, wow, quicker than Helldivers.
I think if any 2 of your names pop up, though, I think I would be like, okay, I want to. Yeah, see, it's not a real lead. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm not. See, in fact, for me, like leaderboards, that doesn't appeal to me. Like, I don't really feel compelled to.
They don't when it's a random person, but when it's one of your mates on there, you're like, oh, got it. Yeah.
I don't know, but I've seen these guys' scores on Super Riders, and it's like, I could go back and do that, but I just can't bother. I just don't care enough to go back and. I don't know. I remember from when we first got PS5 Astrobot, Alex nearly killed me trying to keep up with his scores on the time challenges.
That was so much fun.
we were really we were like the best in the world. I think at one point,
I just remember
2 of us were just pushing a little bit further and further.
That monkey.
That's the reason why Alex had multiple controllers. He broke one while doing that.
I'm sure he did. I
have a video of my son being really young watching me doing that, just killing himself laughing. It's just
cute. But so it doesn't bother me that it's faked in body combat, and the kind of the arenas aren't that graphically interesting. Although they're fine, they're all right. For me, it's just in terms of as a fitness thing, it's pure kind of if I'm doing it to get fit, and I can see this I could build into like a couple of times a week. I could do 20 minutes on this because it's a good different sort of exercise to what I'm usually doing, which is going to the gym a couple of times a week and mixing up a bit of weights and cardio and stuff each time I'm there, bit of swimming as well. So it's kind of a good because it is that kind of the throwing punches and that kind of intensity to really elevate your heart rate. If you do some of the longer, harder activities, it really gets you going and stuff. And I'm not doing it for the leaderboards or for the gamey stuff. I'm just doing it because of how it makes you feel afterwards, and you really do get that kind of post-exercise endorphin rush from it. Yeah. So I think from a pure, if you just want fitness, I think that's for me the top experience.
Yeah.
But if you are a gamer that wants a game element, it's not. Don't go to that for the game.
Even have trophies.
Well, there's nothing. Yeah, there's no game. There's no game to it.
That's what turned me up with really. Wasn't the game
criminal?
Yeah,
Reece is like, I'm wasting my time improving myself doing this.
But then I guess from
when Laurie is actually about the running you, I was about to say, yeah, they didn't have a trophy for what over. So I'm glad.
Maybe your Fitbit. Yeah, if a Fitbit had trophies, that would sort you out.
Think if you PlayStation and get platinum, and then maybe I'll start jogging.
So go on.
I was going to say, just as you say, sync it to your PlayStation, right? And Laurie, you're going to make a face at me here, but the Quest shits all over the PlayStation with this stuff. Like, absolutely shits all over it, because I synced my Fitbit to my Quest to act as a heart rate monitor within the games, which could then work through the move elements of the app, and it was telling me how many calories I was burning in every game that I was playing, not just the fitness games, on everything. It was setting targets for burning it every day, or how many days I wanted to do it. It gives me achievements for how many calories I've burnt in that day. It gives me, like... it's so ingrained into the whole system.
Is there like a proper secret app on the Quest then?
No, you can just use that. So this Fitbit, it's got you can use it as an external heart rate monitor on other equipment. So you can use it on the Quest. You can sync it to the Quest to use it as a heart rate monitor.
So is that a Quest thing that's clever, or is it a Fitbit thing?
I think it's about both. a little bit of both.
It's just an integration thing, isn't it?
And it's
I mean, I
just
guess
all
that
that
comes from
information.
that just comes from Quest being like the market leader, doesn't it? Really, and also Meta's money. Just like they're much more open platform that are kind of open to doing stuff like that. Where Sony is not their priority, is it? So they're not.
And, you
And
don't
also-
know why.
I was
Yeah.
about to say that. That's pretty much my biggest negative for VR fitness. Is to having that fucking wire and having to just occasionally just go, get it away from you. So yeah, that must be really a massive positive.
Go and do it outside.
Working out with the Quest instead. Yeah, that too.
Yeah, do that. You'd be like when you can go to like the park in London and you see people doing like their Tai Chi or their things in the park and stuff, and you think, "Oh, what an idiot!" Imagine if you're there with your VR headset on, you definitely.
Do you know
get
it's
robbed.
funny, right? And I don't think I told you this story, right? So when I went and done High Rocks a couple of weeks ago, and you had to sign all the waivers, and we got all the instructions through before we went to the competition. And one of the things was you may not bring or wear a VR headset. I'm like, why does it say
Wow.
that in the middle of this? Like, if someone went to try and do this thing with a VR headset on or something, like, I could just imagine someone trying to push a 150 kilo sled with a VR headset on with someone shouting at them to try and do it. I'm like,
They clearly
why
want
did it
the
have
Vision
to say
Pro
that in the
videos.
instructions?
Yeah, people with their Apple Vision Pros are doing that, aren't they?
Yeah.
Crazy mad bastards. And you think the Apple Vision Pro? God, talking about VR fitness, that will be good because you'll get all the Apple Fitness stuff's amazing if you really like engage with it properly. So obviously, Apple's already monitoring all your vital signs and stuff, but the Apple Fitness stuff that you can get in their subscription packages and stuff is really good. I imagine it's probably like sort of Peloton level style, personalised kind of workouts with different people and stuff. But if they combine that with the VR kind of tracking of like to actually watch what you're doing and stuff,
Yeah.
that would that's I don't know, it gives people a compelling reason to spend $3,000 on $3,500 on something, I suppose.
And
There you go,
considering
you don't
they
need a
can
new
wear it
computer.
while it's only Peloton.
But just Apple are really pushing the kind of health benefits of tech, so I can see with them using that headset to really push the health and fitness agenda and come up with some new ideas and stuff, because that's kind of what they do really.
I wouldn't fancy sweating into a $3,500 headset.
Well, I was going to
That's
say I didn't really like the experience of sweating into my
no
£500 headset. Really.
horrible.
It's not. Yeah, it's great. And then
Did
you
you
kind of
guys
think,
get? Did you get steamy lenses as well?
no.
You've got the prescription ones, haven't you? So we're a bit closer to your face. I find they steam up a little bit quicker,
Right.
but a bit closer. But I do find that you come up on it away a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's more because you sweat on the forehead, right, and on the
No.
that is the thing that it's pressing up against and stuff. So you're literally just sweating straight into it and stuff.
Put
So
that
it's a bit.
sweatband in there before you put the head.
Well, yeah, it's a
I've-
bit. You wouldn't want to share a headset with someone, would you? Using it for exercise, like your turn off. There you go. So, thanks.
I find the
Bring
ice
it out.
in the PS VR2 quite on the globular cluster. I find that to be quite cooling when you play fitness game. But as soon as you take it off, it's psyched. I'm like, yeah, I sort of stay there to dry for an hour now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's that. Go on.
The whole experience is not the most comfortable. Like
No.
whenever I put the headset on anyway, I'm like, what, it feels like it's pinching my nose. It never ever feels comfortable anyway. So moving around in it is not ideal, I would say. And then when you add sweat and steamy lenses into the mix, there was a few times when I had to like stop just to like pull
Wipe your lenses.
pull the scope out a little bit just to let the steam go away and cool down a bit and then put it back on again. It's like, yeah, that's not ideal, is it? But
Yeah, that's not a great advert for the medium of VR, is it?
I
You're
don't
not going
know.
to convince many people that aren't sold on VR. Don't
A
listen
little
to that
cloth
bit.
on the table next to me, so every now and then it steamed up, I would start pulling it up and you just didn't
Yeah.
wipe it down, put that on. It's still a pain.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Because PSVR2 doesn't lend itself, especially if you've got the earphones on over them. You've got
Yeah.
no chance of getting the thing off. Like, I feel like VR needs to be a bit easier. You can just sort of flip it up, give it a flip it back down again. That's for the medium to be a bit more mainstream. I feel like it just.
You mean
needs to be
like you
easier
can
to
do on
take
the
and off.
Quest?
Does it just flip up? Does it?
If you got one of the
Yeah,
head
no,
straps,
I-
yeah, you can flip it up. But the good thing about the Quest as well is that it hasn't got that little gasket there around your nose, so you kind of find that you've already got the place for the steam to escape when you're sweating. There's also air vent from the top, so you get a different interface. Very different ways to kind of prevent that as well. So,
these bastards are selling Quest.
Yeah, every week they're
there's a
edging
lot
more
of
closer and
things
closer
Yeah.
towards the.
You never
The
The one
find
Fine.
the game you'd like on there, Laurie, that would really really ticking that box. See, she'll talk about
Yes.
it.
So it's a lovely little sandbox.
It was a lovely little story and chapters that didn't really have a lot of game. Like, let's get Lucy Liu in it.
All right. Come on, we'll save it for the next episode of.
So if we should we just
Side
end
quest.
on like what some positives though? Like what's been good? What have we experienced that has been a positive from VR fitness this week? For me, I think for me, it got me playing VR, which is really good. Because it's like, well, I want to do some exercise, and hey, I can pull out the VR headset, which is good. And it's also like almost guilt-free gaming as well, because it's a very different conversation to have with my wife if I was to say, right, I'm just going to sit down on my arse and play video games, to I'm just going to have a workout in VR. She had no problem with that at all. But if it was, I'm going to get up at 6 a.m. and play Elden Ring, that would be a very different conversation.
Makes
so
it just
intervention.
as much.
So there's that as well, and it is fun, and it does add an extra layer of fun to fitness as well, because sometimes it's not the most enjoyable thing in the world to work out. So it does add an extra sense of fun, extra bit of progression in the games that have trophies or leaderboards and stuff like that. So I think there's a lot of positives there. Not ideal, but if you already own a VR headset and you can factor it into your sort of fitness journey, then I think it's a good option to have.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I also think for people who aren't fit and want that sort of helping hand or some encouragement, a bit like Ring Fit was, it's a great way to sort of get people to realise that actually I do feel good doing this, and maybe I'm going to do a bit more, and I'll do a bit more. So if it's a good gateway for people to start doing more. And for me, like, even though I do some physical activity in gym and stuff, just it's a different kind of thing, and I definitely felt it the day after in a way that I don't always when I go to the gym. I think it's just good to mix it up, just always to add variety. Like if you're doing lots of different workouts, you just need that variety. Variety is good, so if you can add it into the mix of different things that you're doing and stuff, it's not going to hurt. I think everyone needs to just modern lifestyles. Everyone needs to move more and be more active and stuff. So if it's a way that encourages people to do that, then I'm all for it.
And I think variety is a very key word to what you're saying there, Laurie, because there's something there for everyone, whether it's a little bit, whether it's something, whether you like music games, whether you like, you could be exercising without even knowing it, and I think that goes back to like Pistol Whip. I think VR is just great for it, as it gets you up out of your seats, even if you're just standing playing a game rather than sitting playing a game. There's benefit to that straight away for posture, for your back, for like loads of things, just to get yourself out of a chair and standing.
And that is a great point, especially if you sat at a desk all day working and then you sit on the sofa all evening watching TV or playing video games. Actually, just standing up for an hour is just your body will thank you for it.
And that's why I enjoy playing VR standing, to be sad. So I sit most of the day. So
I always play standing.
Yeah. There's some games I'll play seated. But it's like Alex said, like with various games, so games like Legendary Tales, that when you play that for an hour, that is a workout on its own. The amount of swings you have to do to hit enemy, that I find very, sweating, juicy, heart racy. Yeah, that's a good one too.
Cool. All right. Well, I think we could talk about this all night, but I think we need to end it somewhere. So there seems like a good place. Thank you, Reece, and thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed this episode, we'd love it if you could please tell your family and your friends about us. And if you'd like to get more involved with the rest of our group, please don't hesitate to drop into our Discord and say hi. And not only say hi, but let us know what you've been up to in the world of fitness. If you've got any good tips and suggestions and games that you've played that we should be taking a look at as well. Last but not least, thank you to our patrons for supporting the work we do. We love you. I've been your host, Laurie. These three have been Ben, Alex and Reece, and we will see you again next time. Until then, it's goodbye.
Goodbye.